Good morning. Welcome to all of you. My name is Todd Bopel, and I'm your board treasurer, and it is my privilege and pleasure to do the announcements this morning and to welcome you all here, so welcome. It's great to have you here. Please remember to silence your cell phones if you haven't done that yet. We would really appreciate it. Welcome to those of you here, but also welcome to those of you online. It's great to have people with us in whatever form that takes, so we're really, really grateful. As you saw, we're about to be joined by Craig this morning, so we're really thrilled to have Craig with us again for his service of the month. And I know we're in for a real treat with Craig. And then musically, as you just heard, we have Jennifer Russell and Michael Gale, so welcome back. It's always nice to have Jennifer and Michael. They're old friends who have been here many times, so it's always nice to welcome them back. Got a few announcements this morning for some things that are either continuing or beginning, so let's talk about those. In response to the great turnout we had for AIF and our book studies that we had around adventure and faith in the fall, we are going to be doing spirit groups on a more regular basis. So these will be small study groups that will be meeting on a regular basis to discuss different books and things that we decide to tackle as a congregation and things that we want to bring into our collective consciousness. The first one will be beginning right after Easter, and we have chosen a book, The 5 Principles, A Guide to Practical Spirituality. And so that will be a 10-week series that will be beginning after Easter. So far, there are 4 confirmed study groups, one for Mondays, one for Tuesdays, one for Wednesdays, and one for Saturday mornings. And so if either of those days appeal to you, or if you would even like to talk about starting a different study group, please reach out to Reverend Blair, and please look for sign-up sheets that will be outside the next couple of Sundays where you can sign up to attend any of those spirit groups. So this will be something we're going to be doing more of. There will be a bit of a structure to how the weeks are laid out in terms of what's expected for each week. There will be a closing sort of a project that each group will do together, and it's really just a way for all of us to get to know each other and to spend some time in these small group formats and to really contribute to each other's spiritual journey, and that's really the goal. So more to come on that, and Reverend Blair is really taking a lead, especially with this first study that we're about to launch into. The book is available on Amazon if you're looking for it, and we may have a few in the bookstore as well, but I don't think we have a huge number, so that is where we are with spirit groups. And so as we go into next week and Easter, a couple of special things are happening next week. After the Easter service is over at 12:45 p.m., we will be having a bit of a potluck and an extended hospitality. We will also be having an egg hunt for the kids. So if you want to stick around after the service and enjoy that fun, please do, especially if you've got some little ones that want to stick around. That would be great. If you would like to contribute, you are welcome to bring some food for hospitality. You're also welcome to bring some plastic eggs and fill them with candy or stickers or erasers or any other cool thing that the kids might enjoy, because we could use some additional eggs to be part of that egg hunt afterwards. So we'll be collecting the eggs next Sunday right outside at the welcome table here. There'll be a special bin to put them in so that then the family ministry staff can be hiding them after the service. So look for that fun next week. Service opportunities, as always, there's a lot of opportunities to serve here on campus and in different ways. If you're interested, look at the e-news that gets sent out every week. There's always a couple in there in terms of what we're looking for. There's also sign-up sheets out here at the welcome table whenever we're looking for people to join one of our ministries. So definitely keep that in mind. And then lastly for me, the prayer chaplains are holding a weekly prayer vigil for Ukraine and the war in Ukraine, and hopefully a resolution to the war in Ukraine. And so that prayer vigil is happening every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's happening on Zoom, so you can join from wherever you are for however long you want to join. And the link to that Zoom is in the e-blast, or you can always email unity@unitytustin.org and just say, please send me the Zoom link for the Ukraine prayer vigil, and they'll do that. But that's every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So please feel free to join that and add to that consciousness if that calls to you. So with that, Craig, I'll turn it over to you for another announcement.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to announce that after the service today, Some of us will be gathering at the archway of the garden for a garden walk with Reverend Marge. Many of you, well, maybe a lot of you don't know, but this is the 29th anniversary today of Marge's first program here at Unity. Many of you might not even know who Marge is now, but she was the guiding light and the focus of Unity for many, many years. And a big reason why the gardens are here, I always tell Marge that her legacy will forever be in these beautiful gardens. So if you can join us, it'll be at 12:45. And her birthday's coming up in 5 days, so that'll be beautiful as well. And, for those of you that walk the gardens, I just want you to know that they're laid out as a spiritual journey. Each site has a different meaning and a part of the evolution of our consciousness. Marge is going to talk about that, take questions, and give us some of her insights and amazing stories from her, many years of spiritual service. So join us if you can. Okay, thank you.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Please sing with me. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Good morning. My name is Patty Higgins. I'm one of your prayer chaplains who you can usually meet at the entrance to the garden, where you can also leave a prayer request in our prayer box. It's my honor to light the Christ candle today and read the daily word. Today's Bible reading is from John 12:13. So they took the branches of palm trees and went out to meet him, shouting, "Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord." Today's daily word is Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday begins Holy Week and commemorates Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem. Although he arrived humbly, seated upon a donkey colt, the excitement of the gathered crowd amplified the celebration as they waved palms and shouted. Spiritually, the crowds represent humanity, joyously responding to the presence of the Christ among us. Jerusalem symbolizes a place of perfect peace. Today, we celebrate and claim this peace as our own, as awareness of the Christ dawns in us. With each prayer on our lips and each thought in our minds, we celebrate and welcome the Christ of our being anew. Today's affirmation, which you'll repeat after me after I say it once, is we celebrate and welcome the Christ. Together, we celebrate and welcome the Christ.
And that's why no matter what is going on, it'll be all right. Right? We come together in one heart. We come together in one love. We come together in the light. We believe, we have faith, and we declare it'll be all right. We come together in one heart. We come together in one love. We come together in the light. We believe, we have faith, we declare it'll be all right. Come on, Michael. We declare it'll be all right. We come together in one heart. We come together in one love. We come together in the light. We believe, we have faith. We declare it'll be all right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Today for the prayer, I'll be reading a beautiful poem from Shantananda Saraswati. Listen deeply. Before you can begin to be what you are, you have to come out of what you are not. You are not those worn out opinions, those turning thoughts, those changing feelings, that separate ego. Well then, what are you? You will find that when you have come out of what you are not, that the birds in the trees are singing to you, I am that. The water in the stream is bubbling to you, I am that. The sun and the moon are shining beacons to you. I am that. And you are in everything in the world. And everything in the world is in you.
Daughters of the living Spirit, rise. Sons of all creation, rise. You are made perfect. You are made whole. You are made of infinite love. Whoa, 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 rise. Whoa, 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 rise. Whoa, 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 rise, rise, rise up. Workers in the fields of light, rise. Artists of creation, rise. Embrace your power, release all doubt. You're employed by infinite love. Whoa, 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 rise. Whoa, 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 rise. Whoa, 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 rise, rise, rise up. Daughters of the living Spirit, rise. Sons of all creation, rise. You are made perfect. You are made whole. You are made of infinite love. Whoa, 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 rise. Whoa, 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 rise. Whoa, 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 rise, rise, rise up.
Let's close our eyes. The invitation today in meditation is to rest. Just rest this morning. And as we move into meditation, listen to these words from spiritual teacher Gangaji. Meditation is not a matter of saying, "Oh, now I'm going to meditate." It is just for this moment, retreating from the need to do anything, and instead, just be. Meditation is an invitation to shift your allegiance from the activities of your mind to resting in the eternal presence of your being. When you are willing to stop looking for something in thought, you find everything in silence. The very simple invitation again this morning is to rest in this silence. Listen deeply. Allow for this moment a little shift from listening to the voice in your head, the mind. Maybe even being lost in that to the point that you think that's who you are. And come here and rest in the silence. I am that. I invite now those that are called to bring your right palm up over your heart. Gently. Still listening. Making contact with the heart. Let your awareness begin to flow into this area of your body. And because the breath is even and smooth from our meditation, feel now that you can draw your breath through an opening in your chest and into your heart. Breathe open. And feel now that your breath is infused with a profound rest. With silence. And breathe this restfulness, this silence into the heart. For those of you that may feel some resistance or tightness in the chest, anxiety or fear, just breathe it out. Let it go this morning. Let go. And feel now that the breath is also infused with a great loving kindness for yourself. Breathe loving kindness to your heart. For yourself, just as you are. Nothing to fix, nothing to change. As you breathe out, feel that loving kindness flow from your heart through the field of your being. And feel now that your breath is also infused with a great compassion for you. Breathe compassion into your heart. As some of you have heard me say over and over, compassion for me is the knowing that I am doing the best that I can given my level of awareness right now. Breathe that kind of compassion for yourself this morning. And feel it flow through your being on your out-breath. And finally, feel that the breath is infused with a great peace, shanti. Breathing peace into the heart. A peaceful heart. And as you breathe out, feel that peace flow from your heart through the field of your being. Let it soothe your mind. And now feeling that the heart is overflowing with loving kindness, compassion, peace. As we breathe out, feel that you can radiate it through the field of your being, like you're the sun radiating a clear white light. Radiate it out and into the hearts of all those who are gathered with you for meditation this morning. And see this energy, feel this energy enter every heart, surround every body. Breathe it out to those that are with us on YouTube or Facebook. As you breathe in, notice you can easily breathe that energy from every heart here back into your own, even more powerfully. Increasing the feeling of your own loving kindness, compassion, and peace, and rest. In this atmosphere of peace this morning, I invite you to hold your family in this peace. Your loved ones who are not here with you. Hold your friends in this peace. Co-workers. I especially invite you to hold those in your life that you know are suffering greatly right now. Those that are suffering physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Perhaps all three. Hold them in this collective space of healing. And feel that they are at peace, that they are at rest. And in this collective field now, let's widen. Let's hold all of those that are suffering in Ukraine at this time. You don't need to visualize anything. Just feel those that are suffering here in our field of peace. That's enough. Hold the Russian soldiers. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Hold the leadership in Moscow, the few egos that have brought this horror to the world. Hold them in this peace, that their minds and hearts may change in a moment. It's possible. And finally, hold all sentient beings in this atmosphere of peace. Every heart, every mind filled with this compassion and peace. Feel your oneness with all life. We are not separate. And finally, breathe further out. Breathe your breath to the source of your breath. Breathe it out into infinite spaciousness, free and untethered. Breathe it to God. Breathe it to the one who breathes you, who lives you, who is you. Breathe it to the Tao, the flow, the harmony of the universe. And for a few moments, let's rest in that presence. The presence of our very life. Rest there. And as we breathe in again now, breathe your breath directly from the source. Feel it flow again through your chest into your heart as a clear white light. Feel it flow down the crown of your head, through your body and into your heart. And feel that you have an opening in your back, and you can draw this energy as well through that opening and into your heart. Breathe in. And feel your heart radiant with the light of loving kindness, compassion, peace, profound rest. This is what we are being called to. What else could you want? What else will satisfy you in a world gone mad? When all that we have to do is accept the invitation of the divine to rest. In that. As that. For that. As we were praying a little bit ago, and we moved into the depth of this stillness. And by the way, all of you can call it what you wish. I invite you, for those that are called, to keep your eyes closed if you like this morning and rest as I say a few words. I'll tell you this, the words that I have to say, they are nothing compared to this state of silence we are sitting in. Pale imitation, pardon me. But as we were praying this morning, many of you felt that, can we even describe it? When the prayer was finished, that movement into peace. Stillness. I'm giving words to describe the undescribable. Some of you call it God. the Tao, right here, right now. And beautifully, Jennifer did not go to the next song. She just rested. She didn't feel the need to go to the next thing because it's on the agenda. Oh, we've only got, so I've got to get to that song. No. I actually looked back at her and she was so absorbed. This is what we're being called to now. Many of you know that. We're being asked to let the mind rest in this greater awareness. Because most human beings are absolutely exhausted from their thinking. They are exhausted from looking for themselves where you cannot be found. In the voice in your head. And this voice is exacerbating as the outer conditions of life are growing ever more uncertain. Many of you feel this. Some of you are feeling a call more and more to be still and to rest. I encourage you to follow that. Every spiritual teacher has told us, and many of you have heard this teaching that I'm bringing today a number of times in different ways. Please feel the urgency of what I'm saying today. We have heard that we are not the voice in our head, the mind, the ego. And yet, we can take this on intellectually. We can understand this with the mind. What we're being called to do now is to move into this understanding at a deeper level. Because it is my deep feeling that our survival is depending on this. There is a call to evolve. Many of you are feeling it in your individual lives. The call to evolve, as so many spiritual teachers have been saying, is to evolve beyond this identification with the voice in our head and to rest in the greater presence that we are, which is God itself. Silence. Stillness. Now. The question is, do we accept the call? Most people are still completely lost in the mind, following its every directive, its every whim, its every desire. And because of this, and this includes spiritual people, and you may know people around you that are completely crazy. maybe you. We continue to follow the directive of the very thing that is creating the non-peace in our life, that is creating the confusion, that is creating the upheaval, the chaos. I've been asking my longtime students regularly in recent times, have you yet to find yourself with more thinking? Please take this in. I haven't had a yes yet. Have you yet been able to figure your life out with more thinking? Probably just the opposite. More confusion, more anxiety. It's rising. The call now is to rest in what you are. How would it be if we simply gave up the search for ourselves in more thinking? Look and see this morning. Many of you have done this already. Where do you find yourself? We are not the voice in our head. I'm going to repeat that again. No matter how much you may believe you are, and that is the condition of most human beings, you are not the voice that's talking to you right now. And what I'm saying today is, if we are to survive and evolve spiritually, we are going to have to drop this very old identification with this machine that is creating all the havoc in human life and in the world around us. Many teachers have said the crux of spirituality is exactly what I'm saying this morning. Once you know that you're not the voice in your head, you're free. You are free. Can you imagine? Imagine you wake up tomorrow morning, you open your eyes and you look at the ceiling and you know that you're not the voice in your head. How would that be? As you get up and dress and go eat, meditate, do what you do. There are those that are agreeing with what I'm saying right now intellectually, and there are those that are trying to figure out what I'm saying with more thinking. So there's a meditation that we can do, because I want everybody to be very clear when you leave about what I've pointed at today. It's very easy, that you are not the mind. If you haven't, close your eyes. It's beautiful to see so many continuing to rest. Some of you may have been thinking, I don't know why he's talking. I'm just resting. That's it. And this little experiment comes not from me, it comes from Michael Singer. It comes from Eckhart Tolle. And so what I would like everybody to do, we're just going to bring a word to the mind. Let's bring this thought, I am not the mind. And we're going to start repeating that over and over to ourselves. You can start to yourself, I am not the mind. Focus, I am not the mind. I am not the mind. Do it in a foreign accent. I am not the mind. I am not the mind. Do it soft and loud. Keep going. So there's the voice. And then there's the you in there that's listening to the voice, yes? Notice. There is that in you which is watching the mind and knows what the mind's thinking. How else would you know what you were thinking if there was not that in you listening to the mind? That which is listening, that which is watching your mind is who you are. That is awareness itself. Be careful, you can't know that with more thinking. Just rest in the greater field of ease that is watching the mind this morning. Feel that relief. This is what we're being called to. If sanity and peace and joy are what we want in our lives, this is essential. You will not find it any other way. As all of you have mostly agreed with this morning, you will not find it with more thinking, more concepts, more books, more spiritual stuff to agree with or disagree with. You will find it by coming to the place where you have had it with your habitual thinking. One of my teachers used to say, to move into the space of truth, you must admit that you are addicted to your thinking. Nothing wrong with that. It just will not bring you peace, nor will you find God in your mind. How could you? God is so much simpler. God is the silence that many of you are still listening to, even though I'm talking. God is the stillness that's right here. Some of you are familiar with the great spiritual teacher, David Hawkins, who passed away a few years ago, a number of years ago. He wrote Power versus Force and a wonderful book called Letting Go, among many others. And he had an enlightened experience where he woke up to this truth that I'm pointing at today and found freedom, found God's presence. And David tells a story that I tell quite often to my students. I may have said this at Unity before, but it might have been a while. And he said, do you want to know why human beings are in the dilemma we're in? Do you want to know why there's so much suffering on this earth? He said, if you were to move into any major city on the earth right now, and you spend your whole day walking around that city asking people, what is your highest priority? Like, what is your major concern? What do you care the most about in your life? Maybe you can do that now as I bring this question. Look for yourself. What's your priority? What was your priority when you woke up this morning? What's your priority now? What's the major focus of your life? This can be a wonderful question. What do you care the most about? Do you know? And so David said that if you were to go in any major city and ask this question, you'll hear all kinds of answers, from the problem I'm having in my relationship, to my money situation, to that job that just drives me crazy. Right? On and on. He said, you'll be lucky if you meet one person that day that will tell you that God is their highest priority. That God is what they think of. God is the focus of their life. And he said, therein lies the dilemma that human beings are in. It is the cause of all our problems. How many of you focus on that throughout the day? Some of you meditate as you're working, as you're driving, as you're going to the supermarket. How many of you draw your breath here and feel the presence, the stillness that's with you? That which is living you right now, looking through your eyes, breathing your breath. Meditators fall into that. You know, they do that for a little while, and then the rest of the day they're completely crazy. Right? First person that cuts them off on the freeway, it's like the middle finger goes up. What we're being called to is a practice that continues moment to moment to moment. And when you forget God, one breath, you can come back here. And again, rest. This is what we're being called to. We see what the mind has done in our individual lives. As I said, anxiety, fear, worry, antidepressants. These are all at a level we've never seen before. People are so stressed out. You know people like that. Their mind is the mind of the world, O man of the world. The reason they have no peace is because they're continually focused on the outer world, which they cannot control. And this is becoming more and more untenable, isn't it? If you don't believe that, look at what's happening in the outer world right now. There you have the collective mind. We have our individual mind, but all of us here today are a part of a collective in this sanctuary. That's why we went so deeply into the stillness. And this is a part of a greater collective. You see what the collective mind is doing. It's called ego. And by the way, ego is just your voice, the voice, not yours, the voice in your head. The level to which you are identified with that voice, thinking it's you, that's how great your ego is. Those of you that believe you are the voice, that's the ego in motion. And we see that what the ego has done in the outer world, don't we? If you want to know what the ego is, look at Ukraine right now. Look at the horror there. That's what human egos are capable of. Just a few. There's many more horrors going on in the world right now. This is what the mind has brought us. This is what we are being called to evolve beyond. Do you feel it? Do you want to feel it? There's some great words from the late George Harrison in a song that he did with the Beatles. When you've seen beyond yourself, then you may find peace of mind is waiting there. And the time will come that you see we're all one, and life flows on within you and without you. We're one. One awareness. We are being called to this oneness. The great Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh said, we are here to awaken from the illusion of our separation. Because when we feel separate, when we look at another human being, we can make them an object. They are less than. We can judge them. We could even murder them. Not any of you. We can believe the worst things about them. But when we begin to wake up to this ocean of awareness that we are, I am that. We began to bring this energy to others that we meet and realize that we are one. This is what is being called for today. I'm speaking about it on Palm Sunday as a new beginning. Eckhart Tolle called it a new earth. This is all he talks about in that book, the waking up out of the collective madness into peace. We cannot fix the problems of the world from the same mindset that created them. It's going to require an evolution beyond this, as Eckhart calls it, torture chamber. That's my invitation to all of you this morning. In that movement, there is peace. There is no peace in the mind. Peace of mind is a phrase that really points to the peace that is beyond the mind. All of you know that your mind may have moments where it has a little bit less intensity. There can even be those times where you feel like you have finally figured out your life. Or you feel that you figured out your confusion, or you're going through something, you've been chewing on it for 3 weeks, and suddenly you go, okay, I have it all figured out now. I've got myself figured out. And then you go to sleep, and then you wake up, and you're as confused as you ever were. And if you're not confused, your mind will soon bring you something to chew on so you can be confused. Because I'm telling you that the mind is not your ally. It's not an enemy. It's just that we cannot look for peace there. Peace is much more immediate. It's much more present. It's right here if you just rest in this spaciousness that we're sharing today. It's waiting for us. It's calling us home. Now. I might just give a little practice that you might do. Besides, I cannot emphasize enough the need right now to find time for yourself every day. To go into a room, go in your garden, wherever it is, be still. Keep quiet. Rest. Listen. Come home to that which you are. His arms are wide open. And rest in that. And then carry on from there. It's never been more essential. You notice I didn't call it meditation. Let's call it resting. Profoundly resting. Here's another practice that you can do. If you're interested in practicing what I've been pointing at today. As you move into your day, take a time, maybe a half hour during the day or an hour. And just one time, do not follow the impulse or the compulsion of your mind. This can be a powerful practice. In other words, don't do what your mind directs you to do. Notice you have a choice. It might look like this, and this is very simple. You've checked your messages 5 times in the last 15 minutes, but the mind is there. Check. There might be an important one this time. And you take a breath, and you watch that directive come and dissolve in your field of awareness. Just like the thought, I am not my mind, I am not my mind, I'm not my mind. Check your email, check your texts. Let it come, and then rest. Watch it dissolve. The directive may be that you sit down, and what you really feel called to do is just take a few breaths. Rest in that presence that you're in now. It's with you always, it's who you are. But then the compulsion comes and you grab the remote and you're turning on the TV. For that one moment, let your remote be and rest in the stillness. Don't follow every thread that your mind gives you. This can be a really powerful way to break that cord between you and the mind. But here's the deal, you have to want to. My experience of people who really come to this teaching, you have to really be exhausted from your thinking. You have to be ready for this. It's a very high teaching. Some of you are, some of you will not be. But here's the thing. Suffering will continue in you as long as you feel and think you are the mind. When you're ready to just simply rest, that peace is there waiting for you as it was today. It'll be there every time. So let's close our eyes as we come to the end today of this part. And again, my feeling is that the silence we have been in is so much more eloquent than my words. More and more my teaching feels like I don't even want to speak. How can we speak about that ineffable silence and presence that we are? Rest in that for a few moments. Listen deeply. And again, listen to these words from Gangaji. You are here. However you imagine yourself to be, you are here. Imagine yourself as a body. You are here. Imagine yourself as God. You are here. Imagine yourself as worthless, superior, nothing at all. You are still here. My suggestion is that you stop all imagining here.
Thank you, Reverend Craig, for this piece. And we are inviting anyone who is here for the first time, if you would like to raise your hand, we have a welcome packet for you. Is there anyone here for the first time? Here we have right here. Welcome, welcome. And we've come to the time of our tithes and love offerings, knowing that as we give, we receive. So as you prepare whatever you may have brought, just let your heart open to the abundance that flows in on its own. And just for some of you who may not be aware, some of us do automatic withdrawals. I have one of my IRAs go right in. So you'll see people putting their hand on top of the baskets, and that's often people who are doing automatic withdrawals. We also have the button on live stream, the kiosk, the button on the web page, and of course there's always cash and checks. And that keeps our wonderful ministry going on here. So before we begin, let's say the love offering blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And as the ushers come forward, we have another wonderful song.
Thank you. I just realized there's some hand motions to this song. The first verse, I want you to put your hand on your heart just like Craig had us do. The second verse, I want you to take your hand and extend it out to others. The third verse, you're going to take both hands and extend them out. Very simple. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy as never before. As never before. As never before. I am now. You ready to extend your hand out? May you be filled with loving kindness. Take a look at somebody else. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy, oh yeah, as never before. As never before. As never before. You are now. Now let's lift both of our hands up in a blessing for the world. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be happy as never before. As never before. As never before. We are now.
Wow, that was so perfect. Thank you. We bless these tithes, these love offerings, these gifts, and we go forth knowing that we are one. And we invite you to stay after service. And if you'd like a prayer, the prayer chaplains are at the garden, right where Reverend Marge is going to be leading her talk. I can't speak. My mind is turned off here. There's also, well, sometimes we need it. So there's also a prayer box if you'd like to put something in there, and there's a welcome table of wonderful offerings in our community. So as we go forth, let's say our beautiful prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.